Hey YouTube, coming at you with a Great League team, Medi, Lantern, and Dugong. And basically, I was going through my list of Pokemon, trying to look for like different teams and stuff. And I was like, every time I go past Medi, one of my three Medis that I have built, I'm just like, I should use this thing again. And it is still very, very strong, right? It still has the bulk. It still has a good moveset overall. They nerf Psychic, but you can run Dynamic Punch instead, and it's still pretty good. So that's why I ran it. You're going to be weak to flying, right? So to cover the flyers, I started with Dugong. So I was like, you know what? One of the main flyers is Gligar, which kind of makes it a little trickier for Lantern. So Dugong seems pretty safe, and then I'm like, but then I'm like, let's just put in Lantern anyways. Have like two answers in the back to it. Team worked pretty well overall. Yeah, let's just get into the battles because I'm still at like maybe 15% of my normal self. I didn't sleep all day today, which is an improvement. So good lead. Switch into Trevenant. So Trevenant is extremely tough for this team. If I saw Trevenant on the lead, I would just have to stay in with Medi and throw Ice Punches. So that was what I have to do there, but I got it on the switch. So I'll come in with Dugong. So easily take switch here. Out comes an Annihilate, so it's a double ghost team, which is okay here because I can just lower the attack once, probably get a second one off unless they want to dump their energy, which they might. Yeah, they're going to dump their energy right on, but look, damage is done, right? Because I got it super low, energies, their health is low, I can just come and spark, and now, yeah, I got two answers to their Empoleon, so there's not much they can do. Poliwrath, decent lead. You think this is a decent lead with counter resisted versus counter neutral versus dynamic punch neutral and scald neutral, but like two scalds takes Medi down to like the yellows, which is like crazy. So I shield, knowing that like I would win in the zeros, but like it's way closer than it should be. It's way closer than it should be. So we both shield. They will get off a second scald here before I get off my dynamic punch. Sorry if you can still hear my nasally. I'll talk about my sickness in a minute here. In the red, I said yellow. It's the red. That's even worse, right? So down to the red, and I don't even take out the dynamic punch. So I'm in the deep red. I don't quite get off of that, which is okay because I have this here, and then just come in Vigoroth. Their Vigoroth versus my Lantern, and then I could just easy double surf. I think is the way to go. There's no point in thunderbolting. I think just getting two moves off for sure. Between the sparks and the surf is all you need, and then you can just Dugong the rest of it. So I'm like 15% back to what I normally am. Today's the first day that I haven't been in bed all day. Like I was in bed like maybe 21 to 24 hours yesterday. Today it was just like I did take a nap this morning, but I've been up since then. So that's an improvement big improvement over yesterday. Not as foggy. Still don't have an appetite, and no appetite, stuffy nose, kind of sore back and body, but otherwise should hopefully get back to somewhat normal in the next few days. Skarmory lead, staying here. Could be Brave Bird, so I will just shield up the first one just in case it is a Brave Bird. Get the dynamic punch off. This may be one I'll be interested to see if I fight for, because I have a Lantern in the back. And if I have a Lantern in the back and they have a Skarmory on the lead, they definitely have an answer for Lantern in the back. And so this is not surprising that I'm fighting for switch here, because I know they have at least one answer for Lantern in the back, which means I need to try and keep switch to make sure that the Lantern doesn't see whatever answer they have. So I'm assuming some sort of grass or something in the back for Lantern, or ground. Either way, I want to get Dugong on that. Or Dragon, right? Dragon resists all of Lantern's moves. So that's fine. Just staying here. I instant swap, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I love that swap. Maybe I'm reading like an ABB double Dragon team, and it's a Quagsire, right? So they have two answers for Lantern. So I get one off. They're going to need to get a Stone Edge off. So I will get a second move off here, which is nice to put it pretty low. So unless that's Mud Bomb. I said Stone Edge, but two lowering the attack. They probably do need Stone Edge. So it is a Stone Edge. Let's see what I come in with. coming with a Medi. I don't know if that's the right move. I'm just trying to sacrifice this, seeing if they have like Aqua Tail or Mud Bomb, and it is Mud Bomb. That is not enough to take me out. They do get to move here. This will chip a good amount, although there are 2 times lower, so it's not going to chip as much. And they are pretty low here, so I can just go straight Surf and then Spark the rest. So their Ice Shard, Dugong, did enough damage to take that out, and then I can just Spark down for the win here. Annihilate, okay, crappy lead. Coming in Lantern, which is kind of a risky, and met with a Clodsire. I think you gotta, yeah, you can't really come Dugong because you're weak to counter. Well, I think you either do one of 2 things in that situation. I wouldn't do what I just did here because it's risky. It's really risky doing that with the Lantern because you can just get easily punished. So I think what I would do next time in this matchup is I would stay with Medi and at least fake a Psychic and just throw Ice Punch and then just like lose and then come in Lantern, because otherwise you like really risk yourself, really risk just getting beat there, and they get 2 Stone Edges off, so this matchup's already over. So yeah, there's like no chance in this matchup. Annihilate does come in. I'll Icy Wind a bunch, but I cannot see how I'm going to down 2 shields get out of this matchup. So I don't want to take the counters. Scar me in the back. Okay, game over. Guess we got to play it out. So yeah, well, I'll do the 2 videos. I think I need to rename the history of videos. Maybe I'm not even going to name it. I'll keep behind the meta in the back end of the title and get rid of the history of or something. They seem to be well liked. People really like the videos, but they don't seem to get the click-through rate that these other ones do. So maybe I'll just rename the title without the history of and see if that gets more views or whatever. Medi against Lantern, so you just stay in this, throw the Dynamic Punch. And yeah, just stay in this, throw Dynamic Punch. It's nice to see the Lantern here and not in the back with Dugong. So that lands. I'm going to shield. I do shield. It is potential Thunderbolt. I think it is, and they do shield correctly. They're going to win CMP with the Surf anyway, so... And I guess Ice Punch would take out from this rage, but they're going to win CMP with Surf, so there's no point of throwing it. Let's just farm up, come out with energy. Skarmy comes in, so this is beautiful. I'm going to get at least 1, probably 2 Dynamic Punches, because I'm pretty close to a second already. And Steel Wing is not going to take down Medi, because yes, Psychic got nerfed, but Medi's stats are still the same, so it is very tanky. Get a Dynamic Punch off. Huge Lantern alignment. What is in the back is the only thing we need to worry about. It is just a Lick Tongue, so that's fine. We just Icy Wind this, lowers attack, and then basically... I mean, we could use shields on Lantern and Dugong here if we want to, because it's not like the Skarmy is going to have any play against the Lantern. I decided to let the first one go there. I think I'm just saving all the shields for Lantern. I'll just probably just take this as low as I can and then come in Lantern to take out the rest of it with shields. Is my guess is what's going to happen here. Because at this point I can just come in and Spark down. And just use the shield here. Spark, okay. I throw it, I don't need to throw it. I could just Spark down, shield here, and then just go 2 Thunderbolts, but I decided to grab a shield. Okay. This Brave Bird will chip. Not even Brave Bird. Charger Bug. Charger Bug is a Charger Bug's a really tough one too. And this is what... It's so funny because last season when before Psychic got nerfed, I was like, you can run either. Like Dynamic Punch as a stat move was better than Psychic even before the nerf. It's way better now. but Psychic just gave you that coverage. And there's a lot of matchups here where that really comes into play, like Annihilate, Chargebug. I'm sure there's others too where it's like, wow, I really wish I had Psychic. Anyways, got in here trying to get a little bit ahead on energy, shield and try and lower their attack. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Yeah, shield, lower their attack once so that you can maybe take a Volt Switch and discharge a little easier. They shield, and they come to Mantine, so it's just like, okay, Chargebug and Mantine against my Medi. So that's just not happening in this matchup. Not much you can do there, right? In matchups like this, like, what are you supposed to do here? So we will play out this loss. And then, yeah, play out a few more matchups. And then we'll, this afternoon is going to be Swampert, history of Swampert, because I think Swampert's been top ranked since season 1 and is still in the top 10. And we're going to go over why in a second. Not in a second. We're going to go over why in the video this afternoon. And then I got at least one more team with... So Bastion's a good lead. They get into Licky, so I'm probably not going to run away quickly. Take a move, throw a dynamic punch, and then leave, is my guess. The number 2 ranked Charmanine. PV Poke updated their top performers, so I'll go over that in my video, how to look at that. But they updated their top performers, and the second team was a Charm Ninetales one, so I used that. And did decent, despite having does have a weakness, but we'll go over that in tomorrow's video. Can I Spark down before they get to another move here? Even if they hit me with a power up, I keep Switch, so it doesn't, it's just Splice him. Just needed to keep Switch because I don't really want to Bastion on my Dugong, so I'll get up a bunch of Surfs and then get my Medi on it. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to talk about here. It's April 23rd when I'm filming this. Quagsire, that's fine. Stone Edge will hurt. It's going to take 2. I should chill up the first one. I made this mistake too because you're way more likely to land the first one and bait on the second one than you are the other way around. Plus, I would lower their attack. And maybe that's why I didn't. Let's see if I decide to let this go or not. I do let it go, and it's just an Aqua Tail. So, yeah, you're always more likely to bait on the second one. It's probably another Aqua Tail, which I'll live. And then get at least one more move off, and then my Medi will take care of the rest. And very easily take care of Bastion. Yeah. Figure that was coming. Get the full counter down. Dynamic punch time for the win. How many more battles do we have? 4 minutes. So terrible lead. Gotta come Dugong because you cannot come Lantern right away because they probably have an answer for Lantern. So Annihilate. Not a good... I'm pretty sure this was a hard counter team if I remember. I think my Lantern gets hit with something that beats it too. Because if you have a Mantine, you probably have at least 1, if not 2 answers for Lantern, which makes sense. See, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I need to talk about over the next... I keep talking about the GoFundMe, and thank you. I can see contributions still come. Well over half my goal. Yeah, I'm about half my way towards my goal. I just need to confirm the Airbnb that someone messaged me about, and then I just got confirmed times with Poke Daxi and stuff. So I still got some stuff to do. It's just I have not been doing it because I've been barely staying awake. So, oh yeah, there's your Whiscash, right? There's your second answer for your, which means now that they have the Mantine on my that and then Whiscash on my thing. Yeah, it's just a hard counter team. There's nothing I can do. So yeah, if you'd like to help me out for GoFest, link in the description for GoFundMe. Anything helps. Yeah, well on my way there. Just need to confirm final arrangements for the Airbnb with someone who reached out to me, and then plan it all, let my wife know, because I mean, she's gonna have to take care of the kids for the 4 days that I'm gone, 5 days that I'm gone, or whatever. I guess 5 days, right? So it's not like it's an insignificant amount of time to be away with two, like a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. That's the thing, like, and people are like, there's so much that goes into this game, with like, I already talked about it. You either get it, you're either in the situation that you get it, or you can't even fathom it, really. So Terrible Lead, gotta come in Dugong. They go into Venusaur, which is an interesting one. But Venusaur does actually outpace here. I was surprised, but yeah. It's so funny because I was talking to a coworker. She's pregnant with her second. So I was like, oh yeah, it's quite a difference between, you think, this is okay, 2 minutes of dad talk here. You think you have no kids, and then you have your first, and you think your first is a lot. And then you have a second, and you realize quickly you quickly realize how easy you had it with one compared to two. Because really with one, yes, the transition from 0 to 1 is rough, right? Because when you have no kids, no real responsibility, quite honestly. You have no real responsibility. We were joking, like the best time in our life was when we were like 20 something, because you're out of school and working, but with no real responsibility yet. So you're making money, but you're still young enough to go out and enjoy. Like we were going out like multiple times a night with friends and stuff like that, and doing like softball leagues and stuff like that. Like it's night and day compared to when you have your first. Then you have your first, and immediately it's tough because you're not like, yes, like kids get up when they're newborns. They get up every 2 hours. So they're up every 2 hours, stuff like that. And it's just a big adjustment because like for the first like few months, you really can't go anywhere because they're relying on like the feeding from their moms. And so it changes your whole life. But as they grow up, and are less reliant on just one of, like, just like the mom for feeding, you can like trade off quite easily, right? You can trade off who does bedtimes, you can trade off who watches them, you can trade off anything. When you have two, the transition is not as bad. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's not like you go from having all this free time and free money to having none, because you can now have none with like one. So that transition isn't as hard. But what is hard is, there were times with like a 2-month-old, when they're napping, you got downtime because your 2-month-old is sleeping and you have no other responsibilities. But when you have 2 kids, your 2-month-old is sleeping, you still have a 3-year-old running around. So you don't get that downtime anymore. So with lack of downtime, and stuff like that. And then, like I said, we tried to get all our stuff off of like, buy nothing groups for Facebook and stuff like that. But, this, like, all these expenses and just like a bunch of toys and, clothing, because they grow out of stuff like crazy, right? Like they grow so fast at that age that like you get a pair of, and Canada's the worst. So why Canada's the worst is we have 4 seasons, and sometimes you have 4 seasons in one day, where it can go from like -10 and snowing to like +20 and sunny in one day. Like it just gets crazy at times. So you have to have like 15 different like outfits for that, and they grow so fast. So you buy a pair of boots and they last them like 2 months and then they outgrow them. So it's a lot of this stuff like that where it's like, oh yeah, I used to have a lot of money and I used to never care about them. Like I used to be like, I'm comfortable. My dad was a financial planner. I always saved. I was always good about money. And then I just watched as like we became a one household income while my wife was off watching the kids. To like our savings is now like depleting because it's just like money's going out faster than it's coming in. And it's just like, it's crazy. So yeah, so the GoFundMe, thank you for supporting. All I'll just say is like, yeah. That why was I talking about this for GoFest? Why I was talking about this is like how I play the game and what I can do versus what someone in their 20s can do is night and day, right? So when you see these people, friggin' Dunebug has won 3 regionals this year. He's won 3. I've only ever attended 2 in my life, and those were in Toronto when I could drive down and stay with my parents for free because my parents live near Toronto. So that's how I can play the game. The least amount of money to get enjoyment out of the game. Whereas a lot of these 20-year-olds who don't have the kids, who don't have the mortgage, who don't have these careers, have this sort of like expendable money, or at least if they don't have expendable money, they at least don't have a ton of other like high. I don't want to say that because some like it's different for everyone, because I know when I was in undergrad, a buddy of mine, single mom, he was working 3 jobs with student loans because that's the only way he could pay for it. So I don't want to like just bunch everyone up into one thing because everyone is different. Everyone has their own different like what they can pay for and stuff like that. But yes, it is much easier when you are in your young 20s to play this game and travel how you want than you are when you're on the wrong side of 30. So anyways, that is it. Thanks for listening to my parent rant. And I know there are a bunch of parents on this channel because I always see them in the comments below being like, oh yeah, I've got 2 kids, I got 3 kids, I feel you, I don't know how you do this. And just like, yeah, I think one of the last thing I'll say, because this is just getting very ranty, someone's like oh, why don't you just asking for money, that's such a cheap way, why don't you just find another way to get money? And I'm like, my man, did you watch what my day looks like? Because my day is, for those of you again who don't know what my day is, wake up at 6 a.m. with the kids until I go to work all day with the kids from dinner time until their bedtime, do their bath time, do their bedtime. I edit these videos and I shoot these videos from 8 to 10:30 at night. And then at 10:30 at night, I upload and do titles, and then I go to bed. Am I supposed to find money between 11 and 6 a.m.? Like, is that my only sleep time, right? It's just, again, it's people who don't know. It's easy to stay behind a keyboard and just be like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Be like, you like, I've been very clear like what my life is like, and it's not fun. Like, I like doing the videos because I like doing the videos for 3 reasons. One, I actually like switch up Pokemon that I use, whereas in the past I would just use a team for like a week straight. So I actually find it more fun using different Pokemon. 2, I like helping people. The amount of people that I'm like, I hit veteran, I hit ace, or hit whatever for the first time ever because your videos is great. And then the third one is like the community. The community is great. Like I was talking about, like I've gotten some amazing donations for the GoFest. Like Specimen Unknowns buys me tickets constantly in the game. So like this community is amazing. I don't love the shooting video YouTube aspect of it, right? Because it adds, I got to make sure I do my battles every day so I have videos. So you're looking at like minimum 30 minutes to an hour of battles. So you have battles to showcase. It takes me an hour to edit. It takes me 25 minutes to shoot. And then another like 20 minutes to upload and do titles and thumbnails and stuff. So I'm adding like 3 hours of work onto my day for some videos that most are in like the 2, 3, 4,000 range views, but some get like, bad ones get like 1,300 views. So it's a lot of work just for something that could fall flat. So I don't love the video aspect of it, but there's other aspects of it I love, which is why I keep doing it. And again, it is another revenue source. Anyways, that's enough talking. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.